All right, what is going on in Madrid? What a crazy tournament. Felix Auger Aliassime has been the benefactor of two retirements and one walkover. He's into the final of the Madrid Masters, the Madrid Open, to play Andrey Rublev, who's there, who's played a great tournament, and it's going to be a great final. But I think the overarching story of this tournament is what is going on with injuries. Sinner, hip injury, can barely walk. Carlos Alcaraz, muscle edema, pulled out of Rome. Yuri Lehechka has to retire against Felix in the semifinals. So many injuries, so many retirements. What is going on? Nadal had a great tournament. He said goodbye. There's just kind of a lot of weird vibes going on in Madrid. So we're going to break it down here on The Slice. Thank you for being here. Now let's get into it. Crazy vibes in Madrid. It's like injury city. So we don't love that. If you're new here, welcome to The Slice. Thanks for subscribing. We are on the path to 20,000 subscribers, and you can become a better tennis player by just subscribing. That's a fact. Appreciate you for being here. And Felix Auger-Aliassime appreciates, he won't say it, but the help getting to the final in Madrid after, with these longer, bigger draws now, you have to play 7 matches to win the tournament. No, it used to be only 6. Like I said, so far he's had 2 retirements mid-match, 1 walkover. So he's technically gone through, we'll look at the draw, but he's gone through Sinner, Ruud, Lehechka, but he's just had a crazy turn of events. He mentioned it on his Instagram. He said it's just been an absolutely crazy week here in Madrid. But he finds himself in the final now of the Madrid Open after having a really tough year and a half. This is going to be potentially the biggest result in his career, winning a Masters 1000. He's never been to a final before. The biggest tournament he's won is Basel, the ATP 500. So this is a huge moment for him, and it's like a bit of a stroke of luck, obviously, not having these 3 non-completed matches that he won. But could this boost your confidence? Could this just catapult you? It's definitely going to help his ranking. Could this just catapult you into playing your best tennis again? So that's crazy. Andrey Rublev takes out Taylor Fritz in the semifinals. He's playing good. He's a beast, and he's won a Masters 1000 before on clay, Monte Carlo 2023. So he's been here before. I have a feeling he's going to feel the player with more rhythm in the final. If he's played 6 matches, he's won all of them. Felix has played like 3 full matches, had a great win against Casper Ruud, but then he's played 2 other partial matches, and he had a walkover. So it would be fair to say, I think that he's got a lot less rhythm, but he might have more energy. But if I'm in reality, I'd rather take Andrey Rublev's route to the final because it's just more normal, and I think you'd have more confidence from getting 6 wins, like actual wins. Whereas if you're Felix, you might be like, did I get lucky? Am I supposed to be here? Like, you'd have all these weird thoughts going around in your head that you're obviously going to try and block out and just be like, I'm just going to win this match against Andrey Rublev, who the head-to-head is 4-1 for Rublev. But let's just quickly talk about why so many of these other injuries might be happening. You got Jannik Sinner pulling out of the tournament due to a hip issue. I'm not sure if he's going to be in Rome 2024. Nope, he's out. Jannik Sinner has withdrawn from Rome. So he's out of Rome. Carlos Alcaraz is out of Rome, who's got a muscle edema on his arm. He's wearing the sleeve in Madrid. And then he ended up losing, but, he's probably not feeling his best if he was already wearing the sleeve and had already missed tournaments before this. So this is not a good sign. And then you got all these other withdrawals. Some of them, just withdrawals happen, injuries happen. But my thinking is, all of the tour now basically plays the long rally, grinding, physical style of tennis. And as you've seen in Rafael Nadal, who's had other unlucky things, happen with his body, like this bone spur in his foot, it just destroys your body over time. Like Rafa has been, he's called himself, he's an injured person who plays tennis. And you see these younger guys, they're all like under 25 and they're all injured at the same time here. It kind of makes you think, is playing the style that they play from the baseline mainly, huge topspin, very physical. Is that sustainable as the courts have gotten slower and slower over time? Are we going to see players like Dominic Thiem have these like career-altering injuries? Because that would really be terrible. Part of the amazing part of the big three playing was the longevity that they had. Federer played with serious explosion in his game and physicality. I'm not saying that he didn't, but he shortened points way more than basically anyone does now on tour. And he was basically injury-free for the most part of his career until the end. His knees finally gave out because of all the torque he would put on them from the way he played. Djokovic is, he's a freak with his stretching, his nutrition. I think he's got lucky physically to be pretty injury-free, but he's played a very grinding style his whole career, and he had the arm elbow issue 2017-18 that made him, miss almost like 2 years of being at the top of his game. So yeah, that's my question, and it stresses me out to see Carlos Alcaraz being so injured young in his career, and Jannik Sinner. They just got to be careful. I think skipping Rome is perfect. You want to come to the French Open fresh as can be, and if you're Novak Djokovic, you're like, I've been chilling. I haven't been playing. I've just been going to like the Laureus Awards, like going hanging out with my family. I'm not even playing really on the tour when I don't want to, and I'm just going to show up in the French Open feeling great. So, what do you think about that? Big sneeze. Didn't think you need to see that. So yeah, let's look at the draw though for Felix, because this really shows how crazy it's been. So this is the round of 32. You got Felix, after winning the first set, retirement by Mencic, and then you got Felix beating Casper Ruud 6-4, 7-5. Now that's a great win. Casper Ruud won Barcelona, obviously finalist in Monte Carlo, so that is just a serious top 10 win for Felix Aliassime on clay, which is even more impressive. You go to the round of 16, then he walks over Sinner, doesn't even have to play. The quarterfinals. They're showing the round of 16 up here. Quarterfinals, he would have played Sinner, but he walks over, so he doesn't even have to play him. And then he goes straight into the semifinals where he plays Yuri Lehechka, who has an injury and can't compete any longer, and he has to withdraw. So Felix, you hate to see it as a competitor for sure. You'd rather just win these matches, like straight up, for sure. But you're not going to tell me that Felix Auger-Aliassime is not stoked to be in the finals to play Andrey Rublev. And that's just that. So here's the head-to-head. They have played 5 times. Rublev has won 4. Their matches were, their last one was Rotterdam 2024 with Andrey winning. Last time Felix has won is back in 2022. The only other match they've played that on clay was Andrey Rublev winning. A lot of their matches have been really tight, as you can see here. So I expect it to be a good match. Obviously, Andrey has his own anger issues. He can get in his own head. Felix can get anxious out there and kind of get locked up, but it's going to be a physical battle. Felix should have a lot in the tank. Andrey should have lots of confidence coming into this, going through 6 players on the way to the final. And lastly, so that's a great final matchup. We'll do a preview, or we'll do a reaction analysis after that. Potentially a live watch along. Rafa Nadal, where is he at? He had a great tournament there. He won a few matches. I thought he looked better. He's winning matches. I don't know how he beat Alex de Minaur. Alex de Minaur beat him the week before, and I thought there's just no way that Nadal's gonna be able to beat him. And I swear, people are saying de Minaur threw the match for the greater good of tennis, but seriously, Nadal just uses that old man experience and strength to just outplay somebody. It's crazy if you're de Minaur and he had such a good year like he's had. But it seemed like obviously they had a farewell ceremony at Madrid for Rafael Nadal. Like, it hasn't really been announced, as far as I'm aware, that he's retiring, but it seems like they've kind of known that looks like he's not going to be back in Madrid. So was that a farewell tour for Madrid? Is he going to retire at the French Open? I don't know. I just don't know. But that was a bit weird. What are your thoughts on Rafa Nadal's status Leave them down below. What are your thoughts on all the injuries? Leave them down below. Are you worried? Do the courts need to become quicker? Do the players need to play faster? Or is this just going to be how it goes? Maybe it's just a coincidence, a weird timing, but Madrid has had a weird vibe around it with all the injuries, and I don't love it. But I'm excited for the final. Felix Aliassime versus Andrey Rublev. We will see you after the final, people, and talk to you